Hello guys and welcome back to our channel Barca Admirers for your daily coverage of all the latest news updates and transfers roundup related to FC Barcelona. In this episode, we have a look at how JORDI CRYUFF played an important role in manipulating Joan Laporta by convincing him not to act immediately on something that probably required immediate action. Meanwhile, a rather quiet and reserved player was finally forced to speak out and defend himself after some really unjust criticism by the fans. On the other hand, a former Barca player is being targeted by the club as a market opportunity in the near future, along with many more such updates. So make sure to watch this video till the very end without skipping over any part. For the first news update of the day, we have a report by Spanish news outlet Marca. It states that scoring goals has proven to be a major issue for Barcelona at the start of the 2021-2022 season, having netted just 11 times in 7 La Liga matches. That weak tally represents Barcelona's worst form in front of goal at this stage of the season in the last 18 years. To find numbers on a par with this season's, one has to go back to the 2003-2004 season, where at this stage back then, the Catalans had netted just 5 times and had fired blanks against Atletico Madrid, Valencia and Deportivo, which also happened to be the first year with Joan Laporta as the president. Surprisingly, in that particular campaign, with Frank Rijkaard in the dugout, Laporta kept his faith in his Dutch coach, which ended up proving to be a good choice, as Barca rallied back at the turn of the year and finished second behind Valencia. As of right now, it seems that just like Frank Rijkaard, Ronald Koeman may even get his second shot and last till the end of this season. As top-tier journalist Xavi Torres reports that Joan Laporta had already made his decision after the Benfica game to dismiss Koeman, and it was irreversible. Even Koeman had accepted his fate, but JORDI CRYUFF convinced the president to give Koeman a last chance, and a U-turn in the situation took place. As per the report of TV3 Catalunya, last week, in a private conversation with some journalists, Laporta even admitted that Koeman was done for. Things took a massive U-turn after CRYUFF talked to the president. JORDI also assured that he would try to get the dressing room to believe in Koeman once again. The report further states that from now on, however, JORDI CRYUFF, in addition to being the director of international scouting, will also take on a new role in accompanying and reinforcing the figure of Ronald Koeman within the club. On the other hand, as per the report of journalist Albert Lissan, someone who sees Laporta 2 or 3 times a week has revealed that the president's preferred option to become the manager has always been Thomas Tuchel. If the elections at Barcelona would not have been postponed, he would have accepted Barca's offer before he even signed for Chelsea. The report goes on to say that the president does not trust any of the available options to replace Ronald Koeman right now. He will try to sign Tuchel next summer, but he knows and everyone else knows that it will be very difficult. Moving on to the next news update, we have a rather surprising one. A CIES Football Observatory reports that Barca have the most valuable team in terms of transfer values in La Liga and also rank 4th in the joint ranking of the 5 major leagues. In total, 11 Barca players have been called up by the national side so far. Surprisingly, Sergi Roberto is also on that list, alongside Eric Garcia, Sergio Busquets and Gavi for Spain, Frenkie de Jong, Memphis Depay and Luke de Jong for the Netherlands, Marc Andre ter Stegen for Germany, Yusuf Demir for Austria, Ronald Araujo for Uruguay and Serginho Dest for the US men's national team. Going to the next news update, as per the report of Spanish news publication Sin Concesiones, the Barca locker room did not like Pique's public statements. Apart from that, Jordi Alba, Sergi Roberto and Sergio Busquets are all upset with Pique for his public pressure to reduce their salary when all 4 of them decided not to do so. They believe that he is not completely focused on the team either. According to the statistics compiled by Opta, Sergi Roberto has completed 90% of his passes successfully in the opponent's half in La Liga this season. He has the highest percentage for a Spanish fullback in the top 5 European leagues with over 100 passes in the opposition's half. What this statistic does not show, however, is the fact that 95% of his passes from the attacking half went back to his own half towards the defenders. This statistic is absolutely useless. Anyone who has seen him play knows exactly what he does. He only slows down all the attacks, and for Barca, he is completely useless. That man has basically had just 2 good moments in his 7 years at Barcelona, and he is living off them. It's time to kick him and the rest of the other deadwoods out of the club. Not very surprisingly, Spanish news publication Sport reports that while someone like Sergi Roberto keeps getting chances in the squad, Ricky Puig has only started in 4 games under Ronald Koeman, 2 in La Liga and 2 in the Copa del Rey. Thankfully, reliable journalist Xavier Bosch reports that although everything was agreed between Sergi Roberto and Barca, someone at the club saw that he would continue to earn far more for a player who is not even a starter, and this means that he may soon leave the club. For the next one, we finally have some good news in terms of match results, as Barca Femení kicked off their Women's Champions League campaign with a 4-1 win over Arsenal. Mariona Caldentli, Alexia Putellas, Ashishat Oswala and Lieke Martins all scored. At least the girls are doing us proud. The boys, especially the so-called heavyweights in the team, need to learn a thing or two from them. Going to the next news update, we have the comments of Frenkie de Jong. He said in a recent interview with the Dutch national team that he expects more from himself in the Barcelona squad, and that is very true, but he is not just the type of player to score 30 goals in a season, and he does not think that he is a player one should judge by his goals and assists. Frenkie very correctly pointed out that after Messi left, he has to do most of the work in the midfield and literally has to carry the team on his back much more than he previously used to do. In fact, he can do more in that regard, and that figure of 0 goals and 2 assists, that could be better as well. The Dutch midfielder also admitted that right now the results at the club are bad and nobody can ignore that. One notices that there is a negative feeling within the players in the club, and that makes sense when they have had such bad results in a club like Barcelona. He however said that he may be disappointed, but he is not yet depressed. Frenkie also managed to point out some positives from this situation. He said that Barca have a very good squad, and especially when the injured players get back, they will be even better. Those points, however, that they have lost so far, they are not acceptable. But then again, people are always exaggerating the situation enormously. Now there is something I feel I must say in this situation. The moment a player like Frenkie de Jong has to come out and defend himself in press conferences, at that moment it becomes clear how impatient this fan base is. We need to be patient with players like him who have a will to improve themselves year by year. Instead, most of our fans are patient with the players who have been disappointing us for the last 3 to 4 seasons and keep backing them up just because they have given us so many memories. I say, well, let's not be patient anymore with them. Kick out the deadwoods and make way for the new talents. Now that's all the news we could collect for you today in the news roundup. Moving on to the transfer section, we have a report by top-tier journalist Mate Moreto. It states that Barcelona have had contacts with Ajax goalkeeper Andrea Onana, the 25-year-old who grew up at La Masia. He is a market opportunity because he is free to negotiate with any club after January. Inter Milan is still the best positioned club right now. Yet another reliable journalist, Ferran Martinez, also confirms the same. He stated in his report that Barcelona have contacted Andrea Onana for his signing next summer when the ex-La Masia goalkeeper would be a free agent. Although Inter Milan are the best position to sign him, his environment denies agreement with anyone. The report further states that Onana is attracted to the idea of returning to Barcelona, but he hopes to know the sports project. Apart from Inter Milan and Barca, Atletico Madrid, Napoli and Olympique Lyonnais are also interested in him. Now I'm not quite sure what the others may think of it, but I feel like this signing can definitely help us, provided of course it goes through. Stegen is very much the first goalkeeper, and yes, it is a fact that he would keep even more clean sheets if he had better defenders in front of him, but I definitely feel like he has declined considerably, and the biggest reason for that is a lack of competition. He knows very well that his place in the first 11 is confirmed no matter how poorly he performs. Now of course I would have liked it better if our homegrown goalkeepers like Arnau Tenias or Iñaki Peña were given first team chances, but since the club are not really considering that, Onana would be a good option to provide competition to Marc. That's all the news we could collect for you today. If you enjoyed this video, then please subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon, select all, and enable all the YouTube app notifications. We have always been overly impressed by your response to our videos. So in this episode, we have decided to set a target of 550 likes. Please Qlers, help us reach our target on this episode as well. Now that's all we have for today's episode. I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next video. Until then, stay safe. Visca el Barça, Visca el Catalunya.